Good afternoon, and thank you for attending our presentation highlighting the initial project of a partnership that is designed to facilitate the integration and physical activity of new Canadian women. To set the context, Canada's global reputation is one of welcoming immigrants and embracing ethnocultural diversity. It's estimated that almost 1/3 of the population in Canada will be comprised of immigrants by the mid-2030s. In the region of Waterloo, over 14,000 new Canadians arrived between 2011 and 2016, and the region demonstrates a higher rate of refugees among recent new Canadians compared to the provincial average. Immigrants typically encounter stressful experiences settling in a new country, including language, cultural norms, employment, among others, and physical activity acculturation specifically may impact the lifestyles among immigrants. And researchers have highlighted the potential link between social integration and physical activity engagement. The provision of physical activity and the consequent social opportunities may be particularly beneficial to new immigrant women. In comparison to Canadian-born women, new Canadian females were less likely to perceive their overall health as good or excellent, and were less likely than men to participate in physical activity. Many questions remain regarding what characteristics of physical activity programs are beneficial for promoting integration and how opportunities for physical activity can be established for new immigrants, and particularly for immigrant women. Furthermore, Pergado and colleagues emphasized how much barriers vary across populations depending on their specific situation and needs. Physical activity for new Canadian women is the general focus for an emerging partnership within our region called Active Integration. It began when representatives from a community organization called Focus for Ethnic Women approached our lab to discuss how we might address this issue. Since these initial discussions, the partnership has received funding from SSHRC and has grown to include formal participation from other community groups like the Kitchener-Waterloo Multicultural Centre, the City of Kitchener, another academic partner at Laurentian University and Dr. Robert Schinke, our Region of Waterloo Public Health Unit, as well as our Centre for Physically Active Communities. We have several objectives for this partnership. I'm going to focus on our first one, which was to garner the perceptions of new Canadian women regarding their experiences, challenges, and preferences with respect to physical activity. To do so, we used 6 semi-structured focus groups comprising 31 women. Their age varied from 19 to 70, quite a range. And their birth countries came from around the globe, including 12 different countries. There were several challenges and barriers to physical activity that they expressed that are typically cited in the literature, things like cost, motivation, and time, and others listed here. And as you can imagine, there were population-specific challenges like language and the knowledge and awareness of programming in our community. As one individual stated, when she came to Canada, she really didn't speak English. She wanted to get some information through the internet, but there was no specific information. So she had to make a call, but because of language, she was obviously unable to do so effectively. Furthermore, weather in Canada in particular is a challenge for the entire population, but particularly those who are not particularly used to it, and this becomes exacerbated. As this individual said, in the summer, it's easy to do exercise here. You don't have to pay, and you have a lot of things to do. But now it's hard because I've never seen the snow before, and it's really cold. In terms of preferences moving forward, of course, there are many that are typically cited and that we see a lot in terms of having convenient location and timing and reducing those barriers and making sure it's fun, among others. And there are some, I think, that are specifically focused for this population. One that was particularly stressed is having a social component. As this person said, it can sometimes just be the gathering, not the physical exercise. It will introduce more people because they may not want to come to the exercise, but maybe they're going to come to the gathering, and that will lead them to exercise. Another focus for our population was an emphasis on having mixed cultures. So not having a monoculture approach, but gathering individuals from a variety of cultures. This person said, we're in Canada, but we have a group of Indian people only. We never get to know anything about Canadian people. And finally, one that was particularly stressed across focus groups is to have a women-only physical activity experience. This person said they don't feel awkward because it's all women like them. With men, you have to watch how you dress, how you move. But if it's women like me, so what, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be relaxed. I'm not going to be stressed. Overall, our focus group individuals expressed a lot of common and unique physical activity issues and preferences. This does fall in line with Pragado's suggestion of having direct involvement and open discussion with those individuals who will benefit from the programs moving forward. And we also have a lot to work with in terms of gathering some practical considerations for the design and execution of programming that we're designing and executing at the moment through our active integration partnership. Thank you very much for listening. Be happy to take any questions.